Ghostrunner on PS4 is what happens when Mirror's Edge meets the ninja from Metal Gear Solid, and it's a really fun game, and it does have a lot of hard trophies, one of which being the R is for running gold trophy, which requires you to complete a level without dying, and on the surface that sounds fairly simple, right? However, in Ghostrunner you can die from one hit from pretty much everything. From a samurai sword, from a stomp of an enemy, falling down a pitfall, or getting shot with a single bullet. So it makes this trophy quite tricky. And one of my challenges before I even started to think about the Platinum journey was whether or not I could actually get this one, because this would definitely be a roadblocker. So I challenged myself to download the game's demo and attempt this trophy on the very first level of the game to see if I could basically just do it, and then I would know whether I could actually go and get the Platinum. So what you're about to see is one of the challenges I did, in that I'm just playing the very first level without any of the upgrades. I think this footage here is actually of the full game, because I did it on PS4 and then I put it on my PS5 afterwards and done it again on there, and that's where I got the footage from. So yeah, here's just my journey towards getting that trophy, because like I said, it is quite tricky and it will take you quite a few attempts, because like I said, you can just die from like a single hit, a single bullet, and they come at you quite quickly. So this is the very first level of the game, which acts as the sort of tutorial section. So there's various bits of platforming that you have to do, as well as enemies that you'll have to kill. There's like 3 or 4 sort of big battles that you have to get through, but there's also some tricky platforming stuff where you have to do wall runs and jump off the walls. And here is one of the first places where you might end up dying trying to get through this fan. If you stand too close to it, it can be quite awkward to get your timing right for when you need to do your dash to go through the gap. So it's one where you just got to be a bit careful, but sometimes you might just have to just go for it to get through. So once we get past there, we got some more little bits of wall running, and we can use the air dash while we're in mid-air to boost ourselves forward. Once we slide down this vent, we get a tutorial about dodging mid-air when the enemy shoots bullets at us. But note, if you were to replay this level after, you won't get that little tutorial there, so you need to be prepared to move out of the way as you slide through the vent. So this is where we get the first big sort of fight. I think there's about 3 enemies in this section, and they're all sort of shooting at you. So one of the big tips I would say in this is to try not to hesitate. Just pick a route through and go for it, because if you sort of dilly-dally around and you're a bit hesitant to move somewhere, the chances are that you'll probably end up getting hit by a bullet from one of these enemies. So you need to sometimes just go for it. Just pick a route in your mind and just see it through regardless of what's going on. Just always keep moving around. Never sort of like walk back on yourself from where you've been, because more than likely there's a bullet heading in that direction already and you just end up walking into it. So you've sort of got to, as soon as you kill one, you've got to still be ready to move forward towards the next enemy and just go around in a circle. I would usually slide down there, get that guy on the left, then wall run over, get this guy outside, and then hide behind the doorway to then go around and get the other guy. But you can just leave that third guy if you need to, and come up here and then do some more wall running to do some more platforming sections where you slide down here and then dash forward to make the gap. And then here is where the next tricky sort of section is, because this is where I would die quite a lot. Most of my runs tended to end here, because there's like 3 enemies here in a row on the various platforms that you have to try and kill, but they're shooting down this narrow alleyway towards you, and you've got to sort of wall run across the gaps, and it can be quite tricky. Sometimes you'll just get shot, other times they won't hit you and you'll be able to go through. It took me a while to really get sort of a pattern down, and that's kind of what you're seeing here. This is like my sort of like first sort of run through it, so I'm just trying to get to the end at this point, because that's the good tip as well for just starting out. Just even if you die straight away, just carry on going through the level, because it gets you to practice the later sections of the level. So then as we come down here, I think this is like the final sort of section now, so there's like about 6 enemies here maybe. So we get that first guy and then we come back on ourselves to get these next 2. This is the route I always like to take, across this billboard, down to get this guy, then turn around, go across these 2 little sort of things that are floating in the air, and then run around this screen and kill this last guy here. And that's the route I would always sort of take in this area because it seemed to work the best. So I definitely recommend following that. And then that's it. You go through these doors, hit this switch for the lift, and as it goes up, that is the end of the level. So as you can see from the timer there, it took me 3 minutes 56 seconds, and I had 5 deaths in that run. So for a first run through, it doesn't seem that bad, but the problem is, it's always kind of different every time you go through. You can get a route nailed down, sure, but if you're a bit slow here and there, you may find yourself getting stuck and the enemy will kill you, so you need to be perfect all the way through. And because it's quite intense and the pressure of getting the trophy, it can lead you to make mistakes, especially with the platforming. Some of the worst ways I died when going for this was hitting the fan or missing a jump and falling to my death. It wasn't necessarily the enemies, because that was the more frustrating ways to die, because it was more your fault and you didn't just get hit by a cheap shot from an enemy. So here it is, the second one now. We're going through again, and basically that's just what this trophy boils down to. It's just a lot of repetition of the level going over and over again. And one of the things to note as well, you can actually make this easier on yourself, and I didn't know this at the time, but you can come back to this at the very end once you complete the whole game and you've got all the abilities unlocked, because you can get special moves to help you dispatch enemies quicker. So I'm actually doing this hard challenge on hard mode, not easy mode kind of thing, because I'm going through with no upgrades, so I'm just at base level. But I feel like if you set yourself this challenge in the demo, if you're one of these people who want to play this game but you're put off by the trophies because you want to platinum it but you hear about the difficulty, then doing this challenge in the demo I think is a really good idea. It definitely put me at ease, because I thought, if I can do this challenge on the demo, I can do the rest of the stuff in the game. Because for me, beating the game was not as hard as beating a level without dying, and all the other trophies were doable. This was the hardest challenge, and I think if you are on the fence like I was, just download the demo. You'll have a lot of fun because it's a great game, and just see if you can get through the level without dying, or at least one death. And if you can do that, I'm pretty sure you'll be able to platinum this game. So that's what I did. I played the demo, managed to beat it without dying once, and then I brought the game. I had to do it again, unfortunately. I was hoping the saves might transfer over and it would give it me, but it didn't. So I did have to do it again. But like I said, you can play it again at the very end of the game and have all the upgrades to make it a little bit easier on yourself, because you'll be able to do these like force blast moves that can just kill all the enemies in an area kind of thing, or you can have more slow down time and things like that. But yeah, this was just a cool challenge, I thought. So here we are, this alleyway bit again where you'd have to wall run and dodge those 3 enemies shooting. It's very tricky, and it did start to piss me off. But I would also say, if you do die, don't just pause and restart straight away. Just keep going, because it gets you, pardon me, it gets you to sort of figure out how to get past that bit that's causing you trouble, and then it also gives you more experience with the level itself, because you don't want to just spend all the time repeating the first section and then die on the last bit because you've only done that like once or twice. You kind of need to have all of it nailed down, and this level, for my money, is definitely the easiest one to do it on, because you haven't got the later enemies in this game. It's just the standard guys with a pistol, really. You haven't got the big robots or the shield enemies or anything else, the machine gunners or anything else to cause you a lot of trouble. So again, we slide down this bit for the last room. You got to dodge that guy at the bottom, so we slice him. We then roll around here, and this bit here you can die quite easily, because that first guy there can kill you quite easily if you're not careful. You need to sort of just know what you're going to do and do it. Don't mess around. You know, always be moving, and always be moving in a new direction. Never sort of try and go back on yourselves. And then make sure you use a slow-mo here to slice this last guy. So that wasn't a bad one there, to be fair. We kind of getting some of the rhythm down with some of the sections, but there's still a few problems to sort of iron out. And here we got down to 3 deaths, I think that is, and 3 minutes 36. So it's a bit quicker, and there was less deaths that time. So now we're on the third full attempt, basically. We've had a few deaths in between that, but here we go again. And one of the cool things about the game is that the respawn time you're sort of like, you'll die and you're instantly put back. You don't have to wait on a loading screen for 2 minutes, and it doesn't frustrate you that much because you're just instantly back in the action, kind of almost where you were, kind of thing, ready to go again. And that really works in this game's favour. So again, we start off, we get that free kill on the intro, and then we drop down, we have to just run this route. There's no real way to skip this this sort of section, you just kind of got to do it. So we just run around here, we've got that first tutorial with the enemy, so we just jump and slice him. It's an easy kill. We'll run up here, go under this bit, slide down, and then we're going to head towards the fan again. So yeah, like I said, the fan is the first tough bit to get past, and it's not that bad, but it is something that can easily kill you if you're not careful. So don't just try and rush through. Take your time there, but don't do what I tend to do and overcomplicate it. Just sometimes you just got to go.
The trespasser is in the air.
Go for it. And it is quite early on in the level, so if you do die there, it's not too bad because you're not like a minute into the run at that point. So here we go down here again, look, and you'll notice there's no tutorial there, and it sort of caught me off guard that time. So as soon as you come out, you've kind of got to jump as well, I feel, because you kind of just sort of drop. So you've got to be ready to sort of just do a little bit of a jump and then do your slow-mo in order to dodge his attacks. This wall run here as well is also quite tricky. Be aware you've got to do the dash so you can make that ledge, because you can easily die on those bits. I died a few times there. So now we slide down to get the guy on the left again. Then we see I moved and faced the wrong way at that point, and I got a bullet in my face for that. I need to go to this platform here, and then so as I get again a little bit slow. So we dodge this first bullet, we hit him, we jump up there, jump off it to dodge his bullet, kill him, and then we just go around there, use slow-mo, and we fucked it. So now I'm getting a bit annoyed because I've died there a few times. I'm trying a different route, so I kill him, dodge his bullet, then we run up there. We've got to dodge now because he's going to fire again, and we get him. So it proves you don't always have to do it my way that you're seeing in the video. If you find a better route in that area or any of the other areas in this level that you're more comfortable with doing, then by all means go and do that. This isn't like the perfect way of doing it at all. It's just a way that a kind of an average normal sort of gamer did it. I feel like if I can do it, then you can do it. It's not too bad. You've just got to keep trying and not get too pissed off with all the deaths. So again, this bit is my worst bit, to be honest. This was the bit I struggled with the most, just to try and get the rhythm down in order to be moving and dodging at the right times and being in the right positions. But yeah, I got through that. And then I fucked up a simple jump there. Look, I think I hit my head and just dropped. So thankfully that wasn't the first death of this run, so it would have been really frustrating to have failed it like that. But that's just, it just shows you have got to be careful with the platforming sections. So don't just blitz through them. Take your time, make sure you've got the right jump, because those are the safest bits, but they can also kill you. You know, you don't have to worry about the enemies at that point, so just make sure you've got the jump right. So here I'm kind of messing up this section now. So you slide, jump, and then dodge with the slow-mo to kill him. We come round now, and I'm changing the route, look here, just to show you a different sort of way. So I've slid under those pipes to kill that, what would normally be the last guy, and then I've got to sort of double back on myself to kill the other three. So he's that one that I would always slow-mo and land, but then again, look, I've lost where I'm going now, so I got lucky there not to die. Now we've got those two up there, so I'm sort of going back to the start of this area, sliding down there again, what I would normally do on the left, and then I'm doing my normal route round to them now. So he's about to fire his bullet, you can see the orange flash, so I knew to jump and do the slow-mo to dodge it, and then I overshot him, but I got lucky there. Now, you can deflect the bullets with the sword, but that is quite a advanced move. I'm not sure if you can do it in the demo, but it's definitely an ability you get. So I knew there that I wasn't going to actually, qualify for the trophy, so I just paused and restarted the run. So again, here you can see, look, the load times aren't that long, especially if you're playing on PS5, it's even quicker, and hopefully when the PS5 version comes out, it's even quicker still. And I'm definitely going to play this again, even if the trophies auto pop. I'm still going to blast through it because it's just a really fun game. Mirror's Edge with Grey Fox from Metal Gear as your playable character. I mean, what's not to like about that? Come on. So again, we go through, as you'll notice as well, to point out in the bottom right corner, you can see your death count as well as the time. So you'll see this when you play through the level again. I think the first time you play through it, you don't see it. And there, look, I got a really shitty death right at the start. Fell off that billboard to my death. So I've already ruined this run. But I'm just going through it anyway, because now the pressure's off now. So I can just sort of go through it a bit more casually, but try and get our route sort of down. You know, I haven't, see there's my first death on screen of the fan. So I'm 2 deaths now already. But like I say, it gives me a less pressured run through, where maybe, you know, if I get to a point where I die a lot, I can just purposely die to sort of practice a decent route through to carry me on to my next proper attempt. So again, he's there. I need to slow down the time to dodge him. And here you can see I'm lining it up this time, this jump, so I don't fluff it. So yeah, always just be careful with your jumps, especially if you get to points where you haven't died yet. You don't want to die on a platforming section. So this time I'm sticking to the left side. I got lucky there with all those bullets coming at me that none of them hit me. And then I'm going around for this last guy, using the slow-mo in the air, and I slice his feet off. Jeez. So the 3 enemies are down. I forget where I'm going at that point, because I'm just panicking. And then we can go up there, into this next section, where we're going to do a bit more platforming to get to the dreaded corridor where the 3 enemies are waiting for us. So yeah, this bit is definitely the worst part of the level. It's probably where most people will struggle. So we roar off there, dodge him in the air, slice him, and instantly move to the next platform. Again, look, I landed in the wrong position. My camera was at the wrong point, but I was trying to just jump and move, and I got caught and I just fell. So yeah, that's a bit disappointing, that. But you can sort of see the route sort of coming together there in that attempt. I kind of did well there for a bit of it. I just came off my sort of track and got stuck on the scenery. But you can see the rhythm of going through, wall running, jumping, slow-mo, slash, jump to the wall, roar, and you know, it's all coming together. So here we are again for the last section. I'm sticking to my normal route this time. We're dodging him. We're then running to there, dodging his bullet, slicing him, running to this next billboard, over to this guy here. I'm going to slow-mo to dodge his bullet. I did it a bit too early there, so I had to get to him quickly, and luckily this slice managed to reach him. So now we just got that last guy over in the corner, so we're going to stick to the same route, running across this screen, then slow-moing around him after he's fired his bullet. We let go of it, and then slice him. And that's the level complete again. So that was like, what, 2 minutes 56 that time, I think, and 3 deaths. So now I'm just sort of running around. I think I was looking for a collectible or something. I felt like I'd hear something. So yeah, I'm just sort of, I might cut this bit out actually. So yeah, apologies, just skipped a little bit of it there where I was just wandering around aimlessly. And now I've just restarted the level. So this is what you're sort of catching up and seeing now. So here's the next run. We're about 18 minutes into this video now. The video in total is roughly 30 minutes, so it gives you a decent idea of how long it took me to perfect this run, and just an idea of how long you might be looking at. Maybe double it, because I already sort of did it, but yeah, you're looking at maybe an hour of just practicing it until you can probably get it. So it's not too bad. It's not like some really tough thing. And like I said, you can make it easier on yourself if you buy the full game, complete it, and come back afterwards. But again, it's a nice little challenge, and it's a way of you knowing whether you could get the platinum if you just try it with the demo. Because I know difficult platinums sometimes put people off buying the game, and at least with this demo you can get a feel for how the game plays and whether you'll like it. But you can also challenge yourself to see whether you feel like you've got the skills to platinum it by doing this little challenge. So again, we're going through. We've not died yet, so we're doing well. We managed to get past that fan, and we're going down this vent to dodge this enemy hopefully. And we did it right. So now we got to just make sure we get this wall running bit done. We did. We lined it up. We took our time there, you'll see, and then we're just progressing to the next bit. So here we go. We're all up there. Then we're going to slide down. It's those 3 enemies now. So we got to dodge this one first. Wait for him to shoot. Move out the way towards that billboard. Dodge his attack. And then we're going to jump and slow-mo round the corner because he's going to fire pretty much instantly. And we can slice him. So again, you can just leave him. I don't think he runs after you if you went up this wall and jumped in here. So you don't need to risk that third guy. You could just kill the other two. So now we're running and doing a little bit of platforming until we get to the horrible corridor. So yeah, we're going to drop down, wall run over here, and then we're going to go to that right platform and wall run across it and hopefully kill that guy without getting hit. So slow-mo, slide to the left, hit him, jump to the left wall, slow-mo off that pretty much instantly, and not do that, not fall down. So again, we try again, slow-mo, hit him, jump off, slow-mo. We just released it too early there, because he hadn't fired the gun yet. So as soon as we released it, it fired it and it hit us. So again, it's sort of a zigzag sort of movement you've got to do there. And pretty much as soon as you jumped on the wall, you kind of got to jump off, ready to slow-mo again kind of thing, because you are at risk of getting shot. So I'll carry on anyway. It's 2 deaths now, so it is voided the trophy. But again, it's just to get every sort of arena section just nailed down. So again, I'm trying to figure out if there's a better route through here, which I don't really feel like there was for me. I do think sliding down that on the left and going that way was better, because you kind of get a bit stuck with the last few enemies as you go around this route, I felt. So we kill him and it slides under there, and then they are already shooting you. It's very risky that. I was shocked I didn't get killed there. So we take him out, and then is the one left now, the guy at the very top from the sliding down on the left there, is he still alive? Yes. And he can kill you. He is deadly, that guy. He can easily get you. So there you go, we got through again. Just over 3 minutes that time, 3 deaths. So we're going to kill ourselves. Let's respawn to spot the lift. I was hoping to replay that area, but because I killed them all, it gave me the checkpoint. So yeah. So just to talk about some of the other trophies in the game, I did do a bullshit trophy video on them and how I found that they weren't as hard as I thought they would be. But another tricky one was for getting 25 kills in a row. So that you could do it on this level, but there aren't enough enemies to get 25 kills, so you'd have to play through the level twice, I think, before you get it. And I felt like that was harder. I think I did it in like one of the later missions where you get these spider robots, because you could do your force blast move and kill like 10 of them in one hit, so it kind of made it easier. So it's definitely a later level to get that trophy, but that's one of the other sort of challenging ones. But again, like this one, you've just got to keep playing through the level to sort of like learn it. You know, almost like a Tony Hawk's level. You know, the first time through, you probably find a couple of escape letters. You maybe spot where the secret tape is, but you don't know how to get up there. You might get the points, the first points requirement trophy, but that's about it. You know, you have to keep playing that level, go through it to get your route down so you can maximise your points, and also figure out where all the stuff is that you need to do. And you just get that by constantly playing the stage. It's not like it's super hard to do, it's just more of getting familiar with the level, finding a good route through it so you can chain it all together to get everything in the one run kind of thing. And for me, that's kind of what this game's like. You know, it's very much a Mirror's Edge type game where you learn the best route, but it adds in more combat to it than what Mirror's Edge had. So you know, you've got to get into the rhythm of striking fast, moving fast, and being confident with where you're going. Excuse me there. I think I'm kind of getting a bit ill at this point of recording this video, so apologies for sneezing. Hopefully it wasn't too loud because I did move the mic out of the way. But yeah, it feels like a Mirror's Edge kind of Tony Hawk style level. That's how you got to kind of have the mentality of with this sort of trophy, I think. Yeah, overall the game is probably maybe a 6 out of 10 difficulty. It wasn't too bad. You know, it's challenging, but because you instantly respawn, it kind of doesn't feel as bad as it could be. It's not as frustrating as it would be if it was longer. The final level for me wasn't that hard because you just did all the platforming stuff you've been learning throughout all of the other levels, and you had checkpoints in it, so you could easily respawn at certain points and not have to do the whole thing. I think if they made you do the entire level without dying, then yeah, it would have bumped this game up to like a 9 out of 10. But because you've got checkpoints in all the levels, it does make it more doable. The hardest bit of the game for me was one of the boss fights with this like machine. It was like a big tower, and you sort of had to climb up this like spherical tower, and there was like laser traps and everything, and that was a tough fight. But again, there was checkpoints throughout the boss fight as well, so it kind of does make it easier. I think they could have been a lot more brutal with what they did,
Dome on lockdown.
but thankfully they didn't, because I probably would have got a platinum otherwise. I probably would have just gave up with it in frustration. So yeah, there are a few tricky bits with the story, but overall it is doable. It just takes practice to learn an area. There was times where I was completing a level with like 100 deaths, but it didn't feel bullshit, you know what I mean? I died all those times, but it was never like I got to a point where I just turned it off and I was like, fuck this game, and I didn't come back to it for weeks or anything like that. It never frustrated me to that point, even though I died hundreds of times. It felt like I only died 10 because it was so quick and instant to come back. So yeah, it's a great game and people should definitely buy it. And there's going to be a sequel as well, which I think is really cool. And I'm definitely looking forward to the PS5 like super version of it. So here, look, I got 11 deaths there. But I try again, and this run that you're about to see now, spoilers, is the run where I complete it with no deaths. So let's just have a little bit of commentary over this as we start. So again, we have to watch this cutscene, unfortunately. You can't skip this bit, which is one of the little bit of annoying things with this level. You always have to watch this bit. You can't just quickly jump to like this point and be instantly starting. You do have to wait a little bit. So we move forward, we roar on up this wall, and then we move to this bit with the gap in the fence. We jump over and run across this billboard to dodge the train below. And we jump up onto this platform here, and then we run to this billboard on the right and jump over to land on this ledge, and then we'll run across here and jump down to attack the enemy there. Then we do a wall run up here through this little like vent, slide down, and then we will run across these platforms to get to the big fan, and this is where we have to do a dash through the gap and not get hit by the blades because it's an instant death. We then have to jump and dash across this gap because it's too big. And then we will run and dash to this one, just to be safe. And we will run across here, jump across and wall run, and then jump across and wall run again. And then we slide down this vent, getting ready to jump at the end, and then do a slow-mo dodge to avoid this guy's gun. We then kill him, and then we take our time to line up the wall runs here into this corner, and then wall run dash off of there to get up to that ledge. Then do some simple wall runs over here, and then go into the first big battle arena where we slide down on the left, get ready to dodge him, wall run across this billboard, air dash, and kill him. You don't have to do this, but I'm getting him anyway for all the times he has killed me. So with those 3 enemies dead, we can run up here and jump to this gap in the wall, and then run round to the next sort of short platforming section until we get to the horrible corridor, and this is how you'll see that I did it. So I slide down, we dash to make that jump, wall run across here, and as soon as I land, I was going to say I'm straight, but I wasn't. So I wall run, slow-mo, have to jump off in it, kill him, instantly jump onto the next one, jump onto the next one, and sliced him. You know you've got them all because it will do a slow-mo effect on your last kill. So then we go through. At this point now, I'm panicking because I'm like, yes, this could be it. I've managed to get here without dying. I haven't done this before. So now we slide down. We've got one last room full of enemies. So we just got to be careful with these platforming bits now, not to fuck it up. So I'm sticking to the left in here. I'm going to slide down this first slide and then jump off of it and slow-mo to dodge his bullet and kill him. Wall run up around here, jump and air dash, slow-mo to kill him, jump off that billboard to kill him with a slow-mo, then run across this billboard. As he's about to fire, we slow-mo and kill him. Now we've just got one last enemy, so we run across here as usual, run up this ramp across the TV screen. I almost missed it there, look, I came a bit short, but I got him, and there you go. That is how I got the R is for running trophy in Ghostrunner. So that is a challenge for you if you're thinking of playing this game. Try the demo and see if you can get through the first level without dying. Now, as I said earlier, you can make this easier on yourself by playing it after you beat the game and going to chapter select and using all the abilities, but this is a nice little challenge to see if you think you can platinum it, because this is a great game. It's definitely worth checking out. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.